Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, Cyborg.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. I have a really special guest with me this week on Box Office Buddies. You may have seen her on Chicago Med, Nurse Maggie. If you haven't seen her on Chicago Med, Chicago PD.
Or Chicago Fire.
Or Chicago Fire.
Incoming.
There you go. Marlyne Barrett, it's great to have you here.
Thanks, Matt. I'm really happy to be here.
We are reviewing Justice League. And this is the fourth movie of the new DCU, if you will. So you had Man of Steel to start.
Yep.
Then they went with the Batman versus Superman. Mm-hmm. Both Zack Snyder. Directed, who also directed this one. And then we had Wonder Woman just a few months ago.
Yes.
In the summer. Fourth installment now. Justice League bringing
all of
those three together, plus a whole bunch of
Cyborg,
The Flash, and Aquaman. My
favorite out of all of them, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but my favorite was Superman.
Oh, no, I do not agree.
I knew you were going to say that. But then after that, I really enjoyed Batman versus Superman a lot.
Okay.
Most people didn't. I thought the introduction of Wonder Woman in that just was the cherry on the sundae, too.
It was pretty great, and honestly, Man of Steel I really didn't like. But Batman vs. Superman, I also went against the grain and liked it a lot more than everyone else did.
What do you mean, when it gets the grain? It was a great movie.
It was, but it wasn't well received. And I can understand why. It was very slow-paced for a superhero movie.
Yes, it was.
But it was solid. It was an interesting story.
Ben Affleck just represents the man, the guy. He's the guy that just, can tip his lid from time to time and just happens to be responsible for Superman's death.
Yes, for those who haven't seen Batman vs. Superman, that happens, yeah.
At the end, Superman dies. Lois Lane is completely devastated. So yeah, no, I enjoyed every single one of them. I really appreciate DC. I appreciate DC a lot. I think DC takes the time to tell the story really, really well.
Okay. Yeah. Now that you're saying that,
okay,
I do think of another movie that is DC recently, which was a complete disaster, which was Suicide Squad.
Okay, yeah.
So we've got these DC movies, some good, some, at least in my opinion, some good, some pretty bad. But now Justice League.
I thought it had everything to make it a great movie. I laughed. Mm-hmm. I laughed a lot, actually.
Yeah, so you had The Flash played by Ezra Miller, and he definitely serves as the
comedic relief.
Yeah.
And he does a great job. And I think he's a phenomenal actor. His rhythm is on point, and he was able to play off every single one of them. So he played the young little brother to Wonder Woman so well. Like, you knew he was shooting out of his league. And then when he faced Aquaman, you could tell that, he felt those intimidations. And then Superman, he played he's that jack of all trades. He held the relationships together for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I thought he acted his part really well.
Yes, he did.
I didn't love his character because I thought there was too much of the comedic relief with him. I don't think he ever said anything serious the entire movie. Everything had to be a zinger, and it kind of got on my nerves. But he was...
I think it's because you want to be the Flash. I don't think it's because of that, Matt. I'm going to go for real. I think it's because you wanted to be the Flash. At the end of the day, he got the job. But you needed him to be like that. Everybody else was so intense.
I liked Aquaman. He had the mix of intensity and humor.
There's not a woman that will not like Aquaman.
I don't know if I've ever seen a reaction as strong as yours when his shirt came off at the beginning.
He never took his shirt off. He went swimming. And when he went swimming, the guy took his shirt off and angels came from everywhere and just touched his body. Hallelujah was sung by everyone in the movie theater. I myself personally just went off and went...
Just her.
There's a blessing upon this man's life. And then somebody else shows up and matches it.
Yep. Yeah, you,
And
we won't spoil that one, but yeah, there's another shirtless scene.
I thought this DC comic brought together Justice League, paid a lot of justice to the male body. So,
True.
as a married woman, I can say that.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, and you do have, again, for the male fans, Gal Gadot, who was one of my favorite parts, again, of this.
And he is Wonder Woman. The
Yeah.
Amazonian women came back and did a fantastic job. Once again, I think they need to slow down and just do an Amazonian women movie.
Oh, I hope Wonder Woman 2 has a lot of them.
They have to go back there
they're great.
and show you what they're doing.
Themyscira, it's so much fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Everything. There's at one point when they're going lasso for lasso, going after that object. It's just a breathtaking thing. And I think with the woman movement that's happening right now all around the world, women were I was at the edge of my feet, just proud to show that women can do a lot more than just, bake cookies and push a baby out. If we can't push a baby out, we can do everything, technically, at the end of the day. So there they were, riding horses, fighting the dude with the sword, lassoing around, playing basketball with metal objects. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. One of the highlights, for sure, of the movie.
I think that particular storyline is going to make me buy this movie. I'm not just going to rent it. I'm going to buy it.
Oh, wow.
I'm going that
Big
far.
fan right here.
Big fan of that moment.
Yeah, and then you mentioned how they bring all the stories together.
Yeah.
I do like that they did that. It wasn't sloppy the way it was in Suicide Squad. I would have liked a bit more of something with Cyborg. I thought his character was a little bland. There wasn't much to him.
Right. I think he was underdeveloped. I understood that he's getting ready probably to have his movie, and that would be after Aquaman. Aquaman, same thing. I didn't think Aquaman was very developed.
I wanted more of Aquaman for sure.
Aquaman was not very developed either.
Yeah, he's fun. I wanted a lot more of him, to be honest.
You saw him. He's the same guy that's in
Jason Momoa, more well known as Drogo from Game
of Thrones. Yeah. Drogo, husband to Khaleesi.
Yeah.
The mother of dragons. He's a really great actor in great physical shape.
Oh yeah, that. Yes.
I just thought about, because Aquaman has tattoos. I just thought about the makeup artist that has to do those tattoos. She does a good job.
I thought I had fun. I had fun.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
A lot of that was probably because of you, but I mean, it was a fun movie to watch. It's not the greatest superhero movie I've seen, but it was decent. Yeah. One of the things that I rarely say is that I would have wanted the movie to be a bit longer, a little more slow paced, so they could have eased into it a bit more and developed some of the characters more and developed the storyline more, which I don't say often. Usually I complain about the fact that the movie's too long.
How long was this movie? It was
2 hours.
2 hours flat. No, I think they could have comfortably given us another 20 to 30 minutes without...
I wouldn't have minded.
Wouldn't have minded the extra 20 and 30 minutes. But I also think the efficiency of the 2 hours was just well done. So if you're going to keep us biting for more, I say that Zach did a good job doing that. I did want to talk about Ezra Miller because...
Who plays the Flash, yeah.
Who plays the Flash. Because we were commenting on the fact that he played a comedic role. And Ezra Miller, to me, seems like such a rich performer. I saw him in this movie called We've Got to Talk About Kevin.
Okay.
And he plays those dark characters really well. I think what the richness of it was how well he did comedy.
Yeah, no, he really was good at the role, for sure.
So really well trained actor. So kudos to Laura Kennedy, who's worked a lot with Ben Affleck in The Town and a lot of his movies, to finding this team of actors and bringing them together.
She casted.
She's the casting director that put this team together.
Yeah.
So really, really well done in putting this fabulous team together.
Yeah.
I think the villain's idea of destroying Earth resembled a little too much what happened in Transformers when Megatron showed up. So it reminded me a little bit too much of that storyline. Okay. And then it brought a bit of the Lord of the Rings for me in there.
There was that scene where we were like, this is so Lord of the Rings right now.
This is Lord of the Rings right now. So I think in that aspect, I would have preferred something different from the villain and the villain storyline. And I don't think he needed to speak English. I would have given him another language.
It's one interesting way to maybe fix the villain, because I did have a problem with him. I didn't find him ominous enough. I found him a little like tacky.
Yeah, and I think it's the storyline too, because we had seen it. I think when something happens to us as an audience, when we've seen a storyline like that, some of them have been touched already. We're like, okay, it's going to explode. We're desensitized to it.
Yeah.
You know, I think they thought no one was going to notice because there was so much emphasis put on the other characters. I noticed it.
Yeah.
That needed a little bit more development.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's about that time. We're going to scale this thing. Marvel and Matrix. So,
Marvel Matrix.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Marvel, I'm happy I didn't have to see one of those this week. And I know.
So explain to me, Matrix is
the greatest thing ever. It's the top of the scale. Marvel, it doesn't fit in the frame. It's down here somewhere. So, yeah.
Okay.
Where do you put this?
Okay. Batman Begins.
Batman Begins. I didn't like it as much as you.
Obviously.
I did enjoy it. I had fun watching it, but there were definitely a few flaws. If I'm gonna rank this thing, I'm gonna give it a Wanted. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Wanted? With the bullets that are bending?
And James
no
McAvoy.
way!
Yep.
When Morgan Freeman dies? No way! I rebuke. Cancel. Not true. The one where the bullets are like, no!
Yep. Yeah, it was the same level. It was like, it didn't...
The one where they dipped in milk and then they came back and they were healed? No way! That is such... No. Okay, well, I mean, we're going to have to agree to disagree again.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, Wanted wasn't a bad movie.
Wanted was a bad movie.
Was it?
Yes, it was a bad movie.
It was a fun action movie at the time. Yeah, well, thanks a lot for doing this.
My pleasure.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and if you're checking this out, make sure you check out Chicago Med on NBC.
We start November 21st, 2017 for Season 3.
Boom.
Bye.